What does Inter Miami have to change to be successful? Let's talk about it.
Ain't been tight, never known curfews. Sunday night quiet, I ain't even out my church shoes. I done been wide, premarital guessing perfumes. Psycho in a lot, they keep asking me who hurt you. Dreaded for diapers, ain't that some shit? You think buying beers and pacifiers made me a pacifist? There's a list of asses that I like to whip. In this timeline, been frames the bad guy shit. Go ahead.
Hey, yo, welcome to Sports World Talk Soccer, where we talk the world of soccer, a.k.a. football, a.k.a. the beautiful game. And today we are talking Inter Miami. So my team, Inter Miami, they just lost to Seattle Sounders for the League Cup championship. It was an ugly game. It was a game that I wasn't expecting. I'm not super surprised by Seattle's performance because I've seen them in previous matchups, and I've seen them in the Club World Cup and what they brought. I've seen them in the, early Leagues Cup tournament and everything like that. They have definitely been, consistent in their play the past few weeks and months and stuff like that. So I wasn't super surprised. But I didn't think 3-0. We definitely had some missed opportunities. As you saw, second half, I think Allende and Messi, I know Messi for sure, had two opportunities that we could have scored. It could have been a 2-1 game. A 2-1 game. Didn't happen. But Inter Miami definitely showed me a lot of frustration. It was definitely frustrating seeing that game right there. I've seen things going back a few months ago to where the team was lacking. Something wasn't connecting with the team even months ago before the Club World Cup. That's why I said it was very, drastic that they get some type of change in the earlier transfer window before the Club World Cup. Didn't get anything. And now, they got Rodrigo De Paul, and I think the young guy coming from Neil Boys, but he's not playing right now. But it's something that Inter Miami has to do to have any type of success in MLS or anything else in the future that we have to change right now. It has to be something right now that we got to nip in the bud and get going. Now, a few problems that we had on the last game and just this year in general is, which I addressed the one thing before, is when Messi's not on the field, there's no attacking. But it's like we can't score. And I don't understand how we can't score when you have Suarez, when you have Busquets, when you have even Jordi Alba, even Rodrigo De Paul. These guys, you got these type of level of talent and, IQ guys, and we can't score. And I know age does play a factor, but I'm like, how? But I go back and forth. I know a lot of people point the fingers towards, Jorge, the coach. And there are times I do, there are times I don't. I'm up and down with him. But my question is this. One of the main things that really showed yesterday against Seattle is that Seattle has a culture. Seattle has a culture. They have a belief in their players, their homegrown players. They have a system, and as you can see, they turned out successful. And I think Miami definitely had to take notes in that aspect because we keep shipping out our homegrown guys. Drake Callender, he's gone. Kromaski, he's now gone. Robert Taylor, a year or so ago, now he's gone. A fan favorite. A lot of people really enjoyed him. He's gone. I'm not sure he was a homegrown guy, but he was a guy that the team really, pulled for when he was on the team and everything like that. I'm like, what is the disconnect between our homegrown guys or our earlier guys and now? Is the coaching staff really believing in the players? Are they really putting time into the players? I know we have a lot of Argentinian guys right now, which is, could be good, could be bad. It has its pros and cons and stuff like that. But what are we doing to create a culture in Miami? What is the culture in Miami? Are the older guys like Busquets, is it time for him to come off the bench? There were some times last night where speed was a problem. You know what I mean? And like I said, I like Busquets. You know what I mean? I've always have. But, just being real, is it time for him to come off the bench? Is it time for him to be more of a mentor role to these younger players? Are they mentoring these younger players that they have right now? Are they pulling Kromaski aside and talking to him? Are they pulling Segovia to the side and mentoring these guys like they're supposed to be as a veteran on a team? You know what I mean? I'm not, I can't say they are or they're not. I'm just throwing it out there to try to find what is the disconnect and why we don't have the culture we're supposed to have in Miami. Now, we have Messi. Messi seems to be a guy who, is a good team player and stuff like that, and he does his part, but what isn't he doing? Could it be more? Could he do more? It's something that Inter Miami has to do. Starting with the whole culture thing. Like I said, the homegrown guys, the guys like Noah Allen, why aren't they getting those opportunities first before the Argentinian guys? You know what I mean? Why isn't Ian Frey, which he has here lately, he's gotten an opportunity. He's, to me, he's doing good. I like what Ian Frey has been given the past few games for sure. Bright, I like what he's doing. Like he's been getting a start. I'm loving that. You know what I mean? I like Falcone. He's not a homegrown guy, but I like Falcone. He does make some, bloop mistakes here and there, but we got to do some more. David Reyes, homegrown guy. Why aren't we putting more into our homegrown guys? Is it the coaching staff? Are they not connecting with these guys? Are they not, connecting because they're not their guys or whatever like that? We have to do something to create a culture in Miami. I repeat that over and over, or we would not be successful. We have to figure out something to get Rodriguez going. Like I said, I don't know why he didn't play in last name's game. I don't know why. Like why? He's been pretty good for us. He's been attacking. We need that extra attacking. We need to be attacking without Messi and with Messi. As you see how Seattle does, which is they clogged up Messi. They made sure, hey, we're going to be physical with Messi. Hey, we're going to make sure he has no chance to get loose on us. So who else is going to step up? You got to have that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Is it time to put Busquets on the bench and get an attacking midfielder? We have to get our midfield better. I thought Rodrigo de Paul would help it out. I know he's just getting warmed up and everything in the past few months, but still, we need to get our transition from the back of the field to the front of the field a lot better. We got to get some attacking better up top because it's not working out. Suarez, he does get some good assists and stuff like that. Passes really good and everything, but we need help. We need Sokovia to be more consistent. I like him. I want to see him be more consistent at getting the ball, attacking. I want to see him more. I want to see Rodriguez more. Allende, I'm up and down with him. I didn't think he should have started yesterday, which I think that goes back to coaching. Going back to coaching, why are you starting him? And anybody who watched the past few games saw that Rodriguez or Sokovia was a better player than him. Why? Inter Miami, like I said, they have a lot of things that we got to do to get better. I hate to see the missed opportunity right there. That's a missed opportunity that we could have got a trophy in the Messi era. That now it's like, hey, we have to win the MLS Cup this year. We have to, which I don't know if they can. Seeing the issues they have when you got teams like FC Cincinnati, you got teams like Seattle and stuff like that who are in it, who have that their players have that chemistry. Like you saw Seattle, they look like they're a team that's been playing hard together and been building together for 3 or 4 years. Which the past summer transfer windows, they haven't even added nobody. They've been betting on their own guys, putting the extra training into their own guys. Now Miami has to take some of that and learn from that, honestly. There are things that Miami does that the league can really learn from too as well, like the way they got Rodrigo de Paul and stuff like that. But they have to learn as well. They got to get their academy system booming even more. You got a whole bed of talent that would love to come to Inter Miami, to the Miami atmosphere to play with Messi and stuff like that. Capitalize on that, man. Capitalize on that. It's time for, it's time for those stars like Suarez to set those examples. He had a bad night last night, spitting and stuff and fighting and everything like that. No, we don't need that. What is our example? The same way how you respected the Barcelona crest, respect the Inter Miami crest too as well. Our defense has to get better. Our defense has to be, it's consistent. The main problem with Inter Miami is consistency. Consistency is the key for any type of success that they can have. players being more consistent on defense, our young guys and stuff like that stepping up. Yeah, everybody make mistakes, but hey, there are times I'm like, wait. Yesterday, I think one of the goals, I'm like, wait, what are you doing? I think it was Bright or Busquets, one of the two. I forgot that they had a mistake yesterday. I'm like, that was on them. Why aren't they running? Like, they're literally just like a light jog while the offensive players, strikers going down to the box. I'm like, what? Why are you just jogging? It's like 2-on-1. Like, come on. Midfield issues, defensive issues is really big for Miami. Age, it's definitely playing a factor, it looks like. Busquets is not who he once was. Suarez isn't who he once was. Of course, Messi is not who he once was. Jordi Alba's, he trying to stay healthy as far as with injuries and stuff like that. That's why you have those young guys ready. You get them ready. I don't know what it is with Inter Miami as far as that training, but we got to fix it. We have to fix it. Like I said, a lot of people go with the coach. It could be the issue. I like him. I like what he did as far as the other game when he came out and still coached his team. I like stuff like that. But then I'm like, hey, you're not making the right calls. Should he have been an assistant coach first before just jumping to be a head coach? Possibility. But Miami has to figure out something. They have a lot of potential. I definitely think they could do something special and be something special. You can't have Messi and all those other guys and not be special. You know what I mean? But to continue to be a significant brand in MLS, in soccer in general, globally, nationally, everything like that, you have to do more. You have to do more. You got to set out more scouts to add to that academy, to bring them in here, get them while they're young, and just go. You know what I mean? Like I said, the homegrown guys need to be pushed more, I feel, too, as well. We got to put more love and attention to them. We got to put more effort in training with them as well, because depth is big. You see how Seattle handled us. Their team has been together for a while, and it showed. But, I still have hope. Maybe this year. But, yeah, let me know what you think about Inter Miami. Is it time for them to make a culture change? Is it time for them to have their veterans take a backseat to some younger talent? Let me know what you think, and let's talk about it.
There's a list of asses that I like to whip. In this timeline, it frames the bad guy shit. Go ahead and